Welcome to Imperfect Momming. Our children are constantly looking to us for examples. The term role model doesn't quite cut it here. We are shaping their worldview with every move we make. You see, it's not in the lectures we give or moments where we are actively attempting to teach them. It's in the micro movements we make, the unconscious ways in which we navigate life. We are constantly teaching our children how to show up for themselves, their friends, their future partners, and even their future children. So what can we do to ensure we are raising thoughtful, compassionate, self-aware human beings? We have to become them ourselves. No one is perfect, but we can still all be better, and it starts with self-healing. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Imperfect Momming, and we can officially say happy holidays.
Happy almost holiday. Well, actually, yes, happy holidays. We've had, for those of us in the US, we've had Halloween, we've had Thanksgiving, and now we're coming up on the Judeo-Christian ones.
Absolutely. So, this is a time of year that there's lots of joy and excitement and festivities going on, and there's the flip side of that, which is a lot of stress and isolation and anxiety and so much more added to our plate. And we can go online and on social media and look at what everybody else is doing and then compare what we're doing to what everyone else is doing.
Yes, and for those of you that can't see, Alicia's doing the, what do you call those?
Air quotes.
Air quotes. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and it's real, right? And oftentimes what we are seeing is people that are actually, not to take away for the people that are genuinely happy and joyous, and I mean, and that's fantastic, but some of the people that are showing photos and happy holiday times, they're not showing the family fights that happened over Thanksgiving. They're not showing the drunk uncle. They're not showing the difficulty of, their teen talking back or their toddler being so tired with their tantruming. Those aren't the videos that are necessarily being posted. And so when we're comparing ourselves or our experiences to something that's not real, then judging ourselves and feeling badly about what the experience is for us. And with the holidays, as we're going to cover more in depth in the Holiday Gimmies Workshop that's coming up on the 5th of this month, really what oftentimes comes with the holidays is just a tremendous amount of stress, as you said, because of the added challenges and the added to-dos that get onto the list and things that we have to do and the feelings that come up with those things. So when that happens, the question is really, what can we do and how do we handle it, right?
Absolutely. Because a lot of times what happens is we know that we need to do something in order to get us out of the funk that we're in. But sometimes we don't even have the energy to do the things that we know we need to do that'll get us out of the funk. Like we either physically or emotionally don't have the energy to get us to do the thing. And the problem with that is that if that continues for long enough, that's a huge contributor to depression.
Right.
And so the solution then becomes to do something different. And that something could be wake up 5 minutes earlier and, jog in place. Put on. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to be...
No, you're good. turn on some kind of
For me,
music.
but yeah.
Yeah, turn on some kind of music. I mean, some people, I said that first because that, my dad used to love to jog in place on his trampoline.
And I think that's fabulous. I don't mean to be poo-pooing because honestly, that absolutely, but I'm just thinking about for me personally, like
Right.
that would not have worked, right? When
Yeah.
I was in my funk and when, and for somebody that it could work for, sorry, I'm almost like, it's not over, re-record now. But that was for me personally. So I don't mean to poo-poo it because all of these ideas, if they could work, would be fabulous. Sorry, keep going with yours because something came to me and
No, go ahead.
that after I poo-pooed the jogging in place one, she's like, no, I'm not saying anything more. That's it.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is, put on some music and do a little dance party. I know one of the guests on my podcast had suggested that when, she was trying to get into the rhythm of getting up earlier, she started with 5 minutes. And with her child, like her child would either wake her up or wake up right after her, and she would turn on music and she would just have a mini dance party for 5 minutes.
Now that I'm loving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the movement thing, right?
Yes.
Which is really like get ourselves up and moving in a way that's fun. And if it is jogging in place, it could even be jogging in place with music or dancing in place with music or just moving our bodies, just doing stretches with music and then doing it with our kids. And it does because it releases, I think is a dopamine or serotonin actually literally inside of our bodies, inside of our brains. And with the release of that, we start to shift and we do feel better. Another thing, what I was thinking about, Elish, is even just getting up and writing. One of the things is just, taking a piece of paper, taking a pad, taking a book, whatever, and just dumping our thoughts, whatever the thoughts are, just write, like set a timer for 10 minutes and just write for 10 minutes, whatever comes. And even if nothing comes, it could literally be just, I'm going to put my pen to paper for 10 minutes and just keep writing. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to say. I don't have anything to say. I don't even know why I'm doing this. This is really silly. What is the point of this? Like literally just keep your pen going and then it will start to just flow and come out. And another thing that I have found with my clients and even for myself is, finding a safe person that I can talk to just be real, to just be honest about what is actually happening. And oftentimes when that happens, when I do that, I get the not be confirmation, but oftentimes people will say, me too. And then I realize I'm not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I might find someone that I can actually then do something with. And that's huge.
Absolutely. That phrase, you are not alone, is really powerful to find people who are dealing with the same stuff that you are,
Right.
and maybe even finding people who used to deal with it and have come out on the other side. And I know that, you mentioned a couple weeks ago that during COVID, you were really struggling and you started your gratitude practice, and you did it even though, in spite of the fact that you weren't feeling it on the inside, but you were doing the work. And when you find somebody that has been where you're at, number one, you feel not so alone, but then that person can also guide you to through what you're going through, because if they can get through it, then you can get through it too.
Absolutely. And like you said, have ideas for other things that we can do because the holidays can be challenging, and there is so much pressure, I think, for them to be fun and for them to be joyous and for them to be just, holiday happy times. And really it's a mixed bag sometimes.
Yeah. So, a lot of people are going through their first Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever holiday that you celebrate without a family member. I mean, that's a real thing. Like, your first one without your parents, or your first one with post-divorce, or like, so, and then we add guilt on top of that because holidays are supposed to be a happy time. Again, I'm using the air quotes, but whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling. And trying to pretend that you're not is really a disservice to the feeling, and it prolongs it because you just shove it down. And if you don't, like, if an emotion is in your body, doesn't ever come out, where does it go? It just sits there.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like, it's like a beach ball, right? It's like a beach ball underwater, and you just keep trying to stuff it down and push it down. And honestly, it doesn't go. Like, the emotion, we're not going to be able to get rid of it that way. By actually just letting it out, it's like letting the air out. And then once we let that emotion out and release it, because the other thing is, pressurized humans don't perform well. And so when we're pressurizing ourselves to be a certain thing that we're not feeling, and I don't mean to be so down and negative, I just want to be real about how it is for a lot of people around the holidays. And also just to be sensitive about that and to that, and know that maybe some of our friends or family members are struggling, and maybe just think about how, for those of us that aren't struggling, can be of service and reach out and find out, and just be there for the people that we love.
Absolutely. So next week, I believe, December 5th, we will be having our virtual holiday Gimmies, or how to handle the holiday Gimmies, at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we look forward to seeing you all there. And you can find the link to register in the description of this podcast. So,
and in that workshop, we are going to be really focusing a little bit more on, on our kids and what we can do to kind of, again, I feel like this podcast was a little bit more on like the downer side, and that's not what we're that's not what we're intending to it's the word I'm looking for. Portray. Exactly. So, but we just wanted to be real and speak into it and lean into it, because it is real for so many people around the holidays, so many parents that we do speak to. And then there are things that we can do to really, really help our children be more of service, and really grow our gratitude practices around the holidays, and do things that are really fun, and find ways together, which is what we're going to do in our workshop as we come together to talk about it.
So we will have another episode and lesson for you all coming next week. And until we meet again, keep healing.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Imperfect Momming. It's time for us to step up and realize that our power is not in trying to shape our children. Our power lies in shaping ourselves into the people we want our children to model themselves after. Don't just do it for your kids. Do it for yourself. When you become a more self-aware, compassionate, and confident person, you and everyone around you benefit. For more information about me and my work, visit AlysiaLyons.com. That's AlysiaLyons.com. See you next time.